As an elder in Atlantis, his tribe that migrated from the east were welcome. He taught much to accelerate the cultural level of Atlantis. Some of Era's children traveled to live in the foothills and mountains dividing Eurasia, in the steppe and other places rich with wildlife and away from the magnificent ice sheets. They were to be survivors of the tremendous flood that broke through near the low dividing barrier of land, near the city that would later be founded as Byzantium. Decadent Atlanteans, awash with technology, gave no regard to the warnings of Yofat. The land was facing imminent destruction by immersion in many waters. He built a very large wooden ship, filled it with sufficient wildlife to provision for months, and boarded it with most members of his immediate family just before the apocalypse. The ship was driven before the wind and rising sea in time to mountains that then called Urartu, for the son of Zubug and Yofat. The couple, now millennia old, began experiencing the onset of aging even in the easier conditions on Earth. They were restless to journey around the rest of the Earth and return to the Andes to leave some sign for any future Venusian travelers that might have survived that to reach Earth. The legacy of Yofat, Zubug, and Era and his family left an impression on Earth cultural development that lasted millennia. Following signs they left in ancient cultures, European travelers followed the glaciers of the northern ice cap back along the west to reach the American continents in the 20th century before Christ. The Irish people, named for Era or I, traversed the world along the 54th degree north latitude, carving spirals as they trekked into rocks to perpetuate the Venusian mystery. The I Cup people crossed over northern Canada and inhabited Wrangel Island in Alaska, north of Ketchikan, before the naming began. They traveled north to the Great Mountains, or Denali, and gave it a name of their own, Tenedos, after the island in the eastern Mediterranean that had been their initial home in Eurasia. The name remained in the language of the people that had crossed the land bridge from Asia, and in that of the people had followed in skin boats after the sea level rose as the Wisconsin Ice Age ended. The I reached Hokkaido and eventually continued intermarriage with Asian peoples. A descendant of the king of the Ainu became the emperor of Ai of the Han dynasty in the year 2 BC, when the Lord of the Universe arrived in Bethlehem. The lives of Yofat and Zubug would have enduring representation in a pantheon of mythic figures such as the Aztec deity Quetzalcoatl, in the family line of Venus that Julius Caesar claimed descent from, and in other forms such as in the rapidly advancing lap-strake boat-building techniques that allowed Half Dan the Black to follow ancient maps and rediscover Iceland that had been settled by Albs, then Irish monks of the far western Christian sect seeking refuge from European persecution. Though the Vikings slaughtered the Irish monks, they learned of the existence of a land farther to the west that they would name Bigd. The Viking colonies at east and west Bigd continued until isolated, starved, and beset, perhaps by plague during the end of the Dark Ages, somewhere around the year 1200 AD. The Albs had already sailed farther west in pursuit of furs and to evade Viking predators aft in space and time. The Venusian bloodline had merged into oblivion of the 99,900 human genome, yet the ancestral influence remained.